Hi everyone, this video is going to be a review from MAC's Cinderella Collection, which just launched online yesterday and will be available in stores soon. As always, please go to allura.com for more full and in-depth reviews for each of the items, which I will swatch for you in this video and give you my first impressions of. And as is no surprise to anyone, or shouldn't be a surprise, just about every single thing is sold out on the MAC website. It was sold out just a couple of hours after launching, and so the items that I show you in this video are the ones that I can get my hands on. The rest were already sold out when I got online to purchase. I even had one of the beauty powders in my bag, but by the time I actually went to check out a few seconds later, it was already sold out. So any of you who are veteran MAC buyers might not even be upset by this anymore, because it's so typical of MAC that collections like this, they totally understock. Intentionally, I think, and they always sell out. So you are going to have to try to get these items at your local store in person if you are still wanting to buy pretty much any of the items, and I wish you good luck in doing so. I hope you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on videos like this. If you haven't checked out my contouring kits comparison video, where I compare 4 different very popular contouring kits and tell you my thoughts on each and which one I think is the best, please go ahead and check that out. I'll link it here in the window for you. And let's get to looking at these products and swatching them. Alright, so let's start with the Cinderella Stroke of Midnight eyeshadow palette. This costs $44. And as you can see, this is a 6-pan eyeshadow palette, not something we typically see with MAC's palettes. And I will be swatching these from left to right. So by row here we have Vapor and Floof, Omega and Quarry, and Satin Taupe and Stroke of Midnight. So the first shade is Vapor, which has a velvet finish. This is a peachy pink with violet pearl. Next is Floof, which is a frosted off-white. I would call this like a nude champagne. This has a frost finish. Next is Omega, which is a soft muted beigey taupe with a matte finish. Next is Quarry, which is a soft muted plum brown, also with a matte finish. Next is Satin Taupe, which is a taupe with a sort of silver flash, and this has a frost finish. And last is Stroke of Midnight, which is a blackened plum with purple pearl, and this has a velvet finish. Okay, so there are your shades from the Stroke of Midnight palette, and all of these are swatched over primer. Next up, we have a couple items that are very different. These are the Studio Eye glosses, and what these are they're basically like a gloss for the eyes, and MAC says that they're supposed to mimic the look of glass on the eyes, so they can be kind of a sheer wash of gloss on the lids if you use them alone, or they're claimed to be able to enhance pigments if you put them on top. And these retail for $23 each. Here is the shade Pearl Varnish. And here is the shade Lightly Tauped. Okay, and I want to try to convey the consistency here. This is after I've warmed it up a little bit, but can you hear that? It's really super tacky. I'm pretty hesitant about using these on my eyes. Of course, I will do it to test these for you and give you my thoughts, but not looking good in the first impressions category. Okay, so here's Pearl Varnish, which is a white gloss with iridescent pearl. And here is Lightly Tauped, which is a light beige gloss with the same kind of iridescent pearl. It flashes against the taupe a little more violet. Okay, so that's kind of what they look like. They kind of look like they're glosses. Yeah, I'll let you know definitely in the written review what I think of these and how they actually function practically or not so practically. Another eye product we have here is a new Fluid Line shade. This is $17.50. And there are 2 shades in this collection, but Macro Violet is a permanent color, so you don't need to get it in this collection in order to get that shade. This is the other shade, which is a new limited edition shade, and it is called Little Black Bow. And this shade is a gray with silver pearl. And there you have that shade up close. And we have two new lip glass shades. These cost $16.50 each. This is the shade Glass Slipper. And this is the shade Happily Ever After. Here they are side by side. One just looks slightly darker than the other one, but not too much different in color. We'll see how they look on the skin. So we'll start with Happily Ever After, which is a cool milky pink with bluish pearl. And here is Glass Slipper, which is a light milky pink with pinkish pearl. Okay, and here are those two shades up close. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There are two lipsticks in the collection, two pigments, a beauty powder, a glitter, and an iridescent pressed powder, all of which I wasn't able to show you because I can't get them. But honestly, even seeing photos of those colors and those products, it's just not that exciting of a collection. I actually really like the packaging. I like it even more in person than when I saw online because there's like a blue lavender type of color, and for some of the packaging it's actually a pearlized finish and it's really, really pretty. But in terms of the colors themselves, it just seems so uninspired. And obviously this is not based on the cartoon Cinderella, it is based on the upcoming movie. So there isn't 100% correlation in terms of the translation of the colors and the themes, but I do think it would have been awesome to include in that palette, for example, the eyeshadow palette, an iridescent lavender bluish eyeshadow shade. That would have been really, really cool, and it would have been much more interesting. I also feel like these eyeglasses are not going to work very well and are going to be very impractical for everyday or even occasional nighttime use. We'll see if they hold up at all. And the lip gloss shades I think will just be nice toppers to an underlying lip color, but I probably wouldn't buy both of them. They aren't that different in color. And so overall, I just feel like there's no real reason to get yourself up in a frenzy to try to rush to get any of these colors or products. They just are not, at the end of the day, likely going to be something that is a new addition to your collection that is really that interesting or inspiring. That's just my opinion. I hope that this was helpful to you. Maybe it will make you feel much more calm about needing to spend any money on the collection, or on the other hand, you might really, really want something and now be stressed out about not being able to get it. So hopefully it's the former and not the latter. But if this was helpful to you one way or the other, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the regular butter glosses, but this new line is a more intensely pigmented version of the butter glosses, while still apparently having that same soft texture of the regular butter glosses. This new product is available in 12 different shades, all of which I will swatch for you in this video, and I will include lip swatches also.